Have you ever felt like one day you just woke up and suddenly didn't belong where you used to? Like you're sitting in a room full of people you once called family, laughing at jokes you used to love. But something inside you feels quiet and far away. You smile, you nod, you play along. But deep down, it feels like you're watching your old life from behind a glass wall. You can see everyone, you can hear everything, but your heart isn't there anymore. If you felt that, you're not broken. You're awakening. When your soul starts to rise, everything in your life begins to shift. The music that once moved you now feels like noise. The conversations that once lit you up now drain you. And the people who once felt like home now feel like strangers wearing familiar faces. But spiritual detachment doesn't begin with losing others. It begins with finally finding yourself. There's a quiet pull that comes before every awakening. It's like a storm only you can feel. You start to pull away, not because of anger or ego, but because your soul whispers, "This isn't me anymore." You notice it first in small things. You scroll through your messages and suddenly feel no urge to reply. You walk into familiar places and feel like a visitor. You listen to people talk and realize half of what they're saying doesn't touch you anymore. It's confusing. It's lonely. You start to wonder what's wrong with you. But nothing is wrong. You're just outgrowing the energy that kept you small. It's like a snake shedding its skin. It doesn't hate the old one. It just can't fit inside it anymore. You're shedding the layers of the old you, the version that needed approval, that pretended to fit in, that kept shrinking to make others comfortable. And yes, it hurts, because letting go of people who are part of your story feels like losing pieces of yourself. But you're not losing people. You're losing versions of yourself that no longer exist. You probably feel something else too. It's not just that you feel distant. It's that being around certain people drains you now. Their words, their complaints, their endless drama. It feels like static in your soul. You leave conversations feeling tired, heavy, almost dizzy. Like you've been carrying emotions that aren't even yours. That's not in your head. That's energy. Your vibration has changed. You're tuned to a higher frequency now, and everything that doesn't match it starts to fade away. It's like switching a radio channel. Once you move to a higher station, you can't hear the old one clearly anymore. And not everyone is meant to follow you there. You try to explain, you try to connect like before, but the words don't fit anymore. The laughter doesn't hit the same. The energy just feels off. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. Your soul knows what feeds it and what depletes it. You used to ignore that voice. Now, you can't. This part of your journey feels like a lonely middle ground. Detachment doesn't feel divine at first. It feels like abandonment. It feels like your world is falling apart and you have no one left to hold on to. You find yourself replaying old memories like a movie you no longer belong in. You grieve people who are still alive. You crave connection but reject everything that feels fake. This is what I call sacred loneliness. It's when the universe clears your path before it fills it again. It's when life takes away the noise so you can finally hear your own voice. You might cry for no reason. You might feel like you're floating between worlds. But this emptiness isn't punishment. It's preparation. Before new seeds grow, the old weeds must be cleared. The same happens to your soul. The universe is removing what can't grow with you. When you find yourself sitting in silence, feeling like you've lost everything, remember this silence isn't the absence of life. It's the space where new life begins. Then one day, something changes. You wake up and realize you don't miss what you lost as much as you thought you would. You stop checking who's still around. You stop explaining why you've changed. You stop apologizing for protecting your peace. That's the day you meet your true self. You start craving peace more than attention. You start enjoying solitude more than crowds. You begin to see people for who they truly are, not who you wish they'd be. You realize not every friendship needs closure. Not every relationship needs fixing. Some people aren't meant to walk with you forever, just long enough to teach you what your soul needed to learn. And when you understand that, letting go stops feeling like loss and starts feeling like freedom. You begin to love people quietly. You wish them well without needing to stay in their lives. You stop forcing connections and start trusting that what's meant for you will never require you to shrink to keep it. This is spiritual detachment, not from love, but from illusion. You still love, but your love now has boundaries. It's not desperate, it's peaceful. As your energy clears, new souls begin to find you. People who don't drain you but recharge you. People who understand your silence and respect your boundaries. People who feel like peace, like truth, like home. But before they come, the universe needs to make sure you're ready. That's why it isolates you first, so you can learn to be whole on your own. Because once you're full inside, you'll never beg for crumbs again. Once you know your worth, you'll never settle for half love. And once you feel real alignment, you'll never chase energy that confuses your soul. So if you're in that in-between phase where your old life is gone but your new one hasn't arrived yet, don't panic. Don't go back just because the silence feels uncomfortable. This is your soul's reset. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly overnight. It disappears first. It dissolves. It dies to what it was so it can become what it's meant to be. That's what's happening to you. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. One day, you'll look back and realize every person who left, every friendship that faded, every silent night was part of your awakening. You'll see that losing people wasn't the end of your story. It was the beginning of your truth. You'll thank the ones who left for showing you that your peace was worth protecting. You'll thank the silence for showing you who you really are. And you'll thank your past self for being brave enough to walk away from everything that wasn't love. Because that's what detachment really is. It's not walking away to escape others. It's walking toward yourself. It's coming home to your spirit, your purpose, your peace. And when people ask why you've changed, just smile and say, because I stopped betraying myself. You didn't detach to become cold. You detached to become clay. You didn't isolate to avoid life. You isolated to find a life that feels real. You're not alone. You're aligned. You're not distant. You're discerning. You're not broken. You're becoming whole. So stay patient, stay grounded, and stay true. The people and experiences meant for your highest self will find you. And when they do, it won't feel like effort. It will feel like peace. Once you learn to love your own company, you stop chasing anyone who makes you question your worth. Once you fall in love with silence, you stop craving noise that distracts your soul. And once you come home to yourself, you'll realize that the connection you were searching for all along. If these words touch something inside you, take a deep breath and smile. You're not behind. You're not lost. You're exactly where your soul needs you to be. Don't fight the distance. Don't rush the silence. Let it shape you. Let it cleanse you. Because on the other side of this chapter is peace so deep that chaos won't even recognize you anymore. You didn't lose your people. You found your purpose. And that's the most powerful awakening of all.